Guys, today I am really sad. It's 4:45 and on the East Coast, and all day long I've been walking around in this funk. Woke up and this is 72 hours worth of shooting and killing of black men, and I have to say something. I just left the grocery store and I'm just looking around, and it just hurts me to my gut that the world will continue to just move on. I watch people with their beautiful dresses and their nice sandals and their baby boys, white baby boys, and there is no concept. They have no concept of what it means to be black today. Because I am under the assumption that it is open season. It has been open season, but it is curiously becoming more and more apparent every day that there is no regulation happening for black men and black women. I am only speaking from the voice of being African American in this country, and it is very unique. I know when we walk around with brown skin, we kind of considered all of the same, and I will say that, but this situation is terrorizing, and to have people just kind of walk around and they can't conceptualize what it means to be me today, or some of you today. I am in great sadness to just be a viewer of what savagery that has appeared on social media. And I showed my class today, because driving to work, to hear the young lady in Minnesota talk, to hear the mother of the son whose father was killed the other day, is heart-wrenching. And I had to share today. I had to get my students, whom of all of 30, two were actually two were African American and one is African, and out of the 3 there is one male who has no clue. It broke my heart to share that information today in class, but I had them respond. And even after showing the video, you could hear the sadness in the room. My Asian students, my white students, my Hispanic students, who are all too familiar with some of the things that are going on in the black community. But I am going to talk about my black people today, because it hurts to know that your brown skin could evoke so much hatred and so much disgust in the world, that hundreds of years later you still draw that same disgust. You know, nobody in this world are hated for who they are so much, the African American people. And it's really foul, because we don't have a place in the world. We do our best to try to find our roots, but you come across even Africans who do not embrace. And I am not saying that we all, you know, everything is rosy, that we do everything right, that these people, some people don't commit crimes and things like that, but the way that we are disregarded and dehumanized, I've never seen anything like that happen to other people. other than countries who fight about their politics, who do have that issue, but not like this in a free country, in a country that is so rich and is supposed to be such a model for the world. That people who look like me, people who look like me, people who have sons that look like me, who have daughters that look like me, we're just treated like we don't matter. I asked my students to write a response. One of the young men who's Filipino, he shared first. And what he said saddened me too, because while he could see the man being shot, both of them, it wasn't until the mother and the girlfriend who spoke really made him sad. It really humanized these men who were killed. I left class today and I drove around my community. I watched young brown men walk past restaurant windows. I watched them being silly, being kids. And I was angry because I was thinking, where are their parents and telling them that they need to not behave that way because they may not come home. And then I watched other people with smiles on their faces, with calm in their heart. I watched a woman who was dressed like, you know, the June Cleaver with her son, getting in a car, a Mercedes, and smiling, and not a thought that anything could ever happen to him. And then when I look around and I see those other kids, and it's a thought all the time that something can happen to them. My daughter is home with her best friend who is white. The dynamics that go on in their life, or what they're exposed to, are similar, just because of what I don't talk about, or what she's just not surrounded by. But then she will be reminded when she watches the news. She will be reminded in a conversation. She will hear me call my brother and tell him to be careful. I walked into a store a friend of mine works at, and I had to tell him, be careful. He commented that everyone has been calling him all day. This man is 30-something years old and doing the right thing. But his family, people call him all day today to tell him to be careful. Every man in my life that I talk to, no matter what age they are, no matter what status, I need to tell them to be careful. I even have to be careful as a professor, as a 46-year-old woman, as somebody who will question, why are you asking me where I've been at 1 o'clock in the morning? I've been pulled over. I've left my Bluetooth playing so that somebody can hear what's going on. White folks don't have to do that. Asian folks don't have to do that. Indian people do not have to do that. I have to do that. My friends have to do that. Today is a day of mourning, but it's also a day where I am authentically angry. I have not smiled today, and I can't find anything to smile about today, because the people that I keep making eye contact with have no idea the pain and the hurt that goes on inside of my head because of my brown skin. We have a person running for president who incites violence against black people. And that's who I care about. I know that he discriminates. I know he wants to suggest that. But it's something about the black people that make us a target. Overtly and covertly. Constantly. We can never get ahead. And if we do, we have to leave others behind. We are always victimized. Some of the conditions that we face every day lead to our bad behavior. Everybody has a starting condition that's fairly level. But people see us in this country and they think we have everything at our fingertips when most of us are trying to make up for years and years of just foul existence. That same boy in my class feels like you should pull yourself up by the bootstraps. He said that. And I spent time yesterday trying to get him to understand. Some people don't even understand the concept because they're trying to deal with their day-to-day. I'm not excusing bad behavior, but I have to acknowledge the fact that there are a whole lot of dynamics that go into anger, the lack of vision and the lack of care. When people know that their brown skin is invaluable, we hate each other. The black men can't stand black women in general. We black women are at the bottom of the totem pole. We are not necessarily valued by anybody. We're so determined to be that we have to turn within ourselves for everything. Today is a day that I am so sad that my brown skin evokes such hatred and disgust. Simply being born with the skin color that somebody who fears, who despises this world and all that's in it, has determined that I am not worth the same respect that they feel they are. I needed to say something. And I need to be a part of doing something. I pray for my brown men. I pray that they start to understand who they are. Working hard to bring a race of people along. We need to support each other. We need to teach. We need to protect. So for all of those people who have no concept of what it means to be brown today, that is a little bit of it. That's a little bit of it. Peace out.